And with that, I have given you all my secrets. You've pretty much had a heat stroke. No, actually had a heat stroke, not pretty much. I love the Cockamore flow. I wish I had one now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Alleyways, or if it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And if you haven't already, please make sure to join the Alleyways family. Subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and turn on post notifications, not only so you know when I have new content, but also so I can include you in my subscriber shout out. This is my special way of thanking and acknowledging each and every one of you. I'm gonna be shouting out a bunch of subscribers at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned until the end in case that's you. So I have been talking about doing today's video for a long time. I'm so sorry it's taken this long for me to make it. Things have been crazy busy. But I'm really excited to finally sit down and bring you all my Disney Instagram guide. Now, at the beginning of this video, I just want to say I realize not everybody wants to take photos on vacation, and that's fine. Everybody is entitled to do whatever they want to on their vacation. You've worked hard to be there, and I'm just making this video for people who are interested in creating content when they're in Disney and want some helpful tips and tricks to get photos that you like, that you feel really excited about, and so you can do that in as little time as possible. So you're getting great content and still enjoying your vacation. That being said, I realize it's not for everyone, and that is okay. Now that I have that disclaimer out there, let's jump right into my Disney Instagram guide. Okay, so I made an entire production booklet before I left. That's something I do before every single trip, where I plan what photos I'm going to take and what outfits, what time of day, and at the location. So that's essentially what I'm going to be sharing with you all. And let's start with the castle photos. These are the photos I was so excited about. I got on Pinterest and pulled lots of inspiration. I chose this dress from Shein, which is now out of stock, but I have shared tons of dupes for this dress on my channel. Check out some of my recent hauls if you'd like to see that. These photos, the two of just me in front of the castle, these were taken at around 9:30 to 10 a.m. in the morning. If you're looking at the castle, I was on the right ramp up to the castle. These were taken in portrait mode with the studio setting on. So if you go into portrait mode, you can scroll through the different lighting settings. I always choose studio lighting. I was standing in a shady spot. So I was standing in the shade and the castle was fully lit in the background. Camera was on portrait mode, and Deanna and Chavi, we all took photos of each other. And for this photo in particular, you want to make sure that whoever's taking your photo kneels down and takes the photo from a lower angle. I realize that's not everybody's angle, so you don't have to do that. Of course, all of this, I'm just sharing what I did. And I do that because obviously you want to get the height of the castle in the background. And I really love how these came out. All of my photos are edited in the Tezza app. I do pay for the premium version, and almost every single one of my photos from vacation was edited in Tezza, I'm fairly sure. So that is how I took these two photos. One of the suggestions I want to make at the beginning for planning your photos, if you are like me, like I said, I do a lot of planning. Partially because I do have partnerships with some clothing companies, and I want to make sure I'm delivering content for them and including everyone. But I try to style my outfits kind of in accordance with where the photo is going to be taken. So for these photos in front of the castle, I wanted something that felt very princessy, cottagecore, light, feminine. So I chose a dress that had that style, but also that pastel-y kind of color family that we see in the design of the castle. So keep that in mind so you have a lot of continuity in the feel and the styling of your image. I also did make sure to coordinate my masks and my ears. Of course, now you don't have to worry about masks for photos at Disney, which is exciting for everybody that's going. But all of the ears also, I've gotten a lot of questions. All the ears I wore on vacation I made with my family, and I do have a tutorial on my channel if you want to see how I did that. Let's move on to our group photo in front of the castle, because this one was a tricky one to get. So the girls and I did not travel with any kind of content creation team. We took everything of each other, or For group photos, we had to get creative. So we made sure to pack a phone tripod, and what we did is set up the phone vertically like this and took a video in 4K. So we would start the video rolling and then we would do different poses, and what we did from there was scroll through, pause, and screenshot the video. We used the phone tripod and we actually clamped it onto the hand railing going up the ramp towards the castle, and we took these at almost the same angle as the other ones. These were not in portrait mode, of course you can't do that in video, but I still absolutely love how they came out. And I think we even tried a few on, we stacked a backpack and then clamped the tripod on the backpack right in the middle of the ramp to really get the whole castle in the background. So if you're traveling with a group, try the video setting if you don't have someone to take your photos. And even Deanna, who traveled with me, who has incredible content, actually a lot of times takes a video and screenshots from it to create her content. So that's just a tip. I haven't done that yet, but I'm definitely interested in trying it. Now that I have the 12 Pro Max, I am definitely going to be trying screenshotting from video for my content going forward. But that's how we got those. And it's actually really great because then I could repurpose the video for TikTok and Instagram and even my vlog. All right, let's move on to some photos from Fantasyland. Next up, we have this photo that I took on the Dumbo ride. So in planning this photo, you want to make sure that you have friends traveling with you, of course, or someone who's willing to take your photo. I always try to coordinate where, for the Dumbo photos, because we had to cycle through to take them of each other, where you're the first ones on the ride, so you have time to sit in and the person to take a photo and then get in their own Dumbo, so you're not holding the line up. So if you can, let people go in front of you and just wait till you're the first one to load in, and you sit down, make sure that you are, for this one, I was in the shade again. So you can see I'm a little bit more shady. The background is fully illuminated, and this was also on portrait mode, studio lighting. Now I made sure to crop this where you can see kind of like that signature mechanism that lifts the elephants, so you could tell it was the Dumbo ride. You can take it from a little further back and crop it in if you would like. And also I did go first to be able to pick what color Dumbo I was in. So if you're really wanting a photo and you want to put the effort in, style your outfit to match your Dumbo. Maybe that's crazy, but that's just what I wanted to do, and I love how it came out. My friend Jonathan actually edited this photo for me. So for this edit, we really had to pull up the shadows and down the highlights because I took this photo around 11 a.m. So the light was getting really harsh. I didn't take too many photos midday just because that's really not the best time to, but don't be scared of it either. You're gonna see I have some others from midday where we were able to work some editing magic. So if you do, even if you do sit in the shady part and the back is illuminated, you are going to have to pull up your shadows, lighten them, and then darken the highlights. And then I edited this in Tezza with one of the filters there, and I love how it came out. Again, those are ears that I made, and that is a dress from Pink Lily Boutique. If you have any questions about these looks or want to shop them, I'm gonna do my best to put links to things that are still for sale in the description box down below. So next up, we have this photo with the Kakamura float in front of Aloha Isle. I took this at around 2 in the afternoon. Again, this was taken on portrait mode. I was sitting up on the ledge where everybody sits right next to Aloha Isle. So there's like an upper ledge and a lower ledge. I was sitting up on the lower ledge, and Deanna took these for me on portrait mode, sitting on the lower ledge looking up. So you really had the background of the tiki room and the bright, beautiful colors behind. I like these photos because we were having such a fun time there. These were candid. She was just kind of snapping while we were eating and talking, and I love how these came out. Again, I chose all for this day like bright, bold colors because I knew I wanted to get some of these photos, and this is again an outfit from one of my affiliate partners that I love and was so comfortable. I planned to have like the poppy ears with them in a contrasting color to the area that I was going to be in, and The lighting there, these were taken, yeah, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was all in the shade, so the lighting was really, really great. And it was nice to be able to just sit down and relax for a while. It's a great place to get photos while you rest, and I think these came out really cute. And it just makes me happy looking at them because that was such a fun time for us. And I love the Cockamore float. I wish I had one now. Next up, we have this photo that I took in front of the tangled bathroom area. I saw this all over Pinterest and all over Instagram. I think this area is so beautiful, and I knew I wanted a photo there. I took this in the same dress from the Dumbo ride. This was taken probably about 20 minutes after Dumbo ride, so almost at high noon. So whenever I'm taking photos at that time when the sun is very straight up and down, you can see I always try and look directly to the light source so you don't have harsh shadows underneath like the natural kind of contour areas of your face. So just bear that in mind if you are taking photos at the time. You can see there's really harsh shadows from the sun being straight up and down. So if you still want to take photos at that time, just look up, look to your light source. This was taken from a lower angle, and this was not actually on portrait mode. I wanted to capture like all of the area with the lanterns and the roof line, and so this was just taken on, so if you go into the camera on the 12 Pro, you can go into the 0.5 lens, and really that's the wide angle lens where you get the full effect. And so I took this on the 0.5 lens and kind of just cropped it in. On the last one you can see where I'm really looking directly at the light source, but yeah, stood in the full sun area. Again, you can see it was taken from a lower angle kind of up, and I love how these came out as well. If you have any questions at all about anything that I'm saying, please let me know. I love this orange dress in this area, but I think I would love to see somebody style a lavender Rapunzel inspired kind of bound look over by the bathrooms. And I think next time I go back, that's probably what I'll plan. I also should say, if you are watching this video and you take a photo from my Instagram guide, please tag me or hashtag alleyways or something like that so I can see your photos. Send them to me, tag me, you know, Alleyways Disney Instagram guide. Because I want to see how your photos come out. I really hope this is helpful, but like I said, please, 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 if you have any questions at all, just let me know. So those are all the photos that I took in Magic Kingdom day 1. Now let's move on to day 2 of my trip, and that is Animal Kingdom. So if you watch my vlogs, you know I pretty much had a heat stroke. No, actually had a heat stroke, not pretty much. Had a heat stroke at the end of the day, day 1 in Magic Kingdom. So day 2, Animal Kingdom, we were really tired, and I didn't feel well, so we slept in and didn't shoot any content in the morning. So all of the photos that I posted on my Instagram from Animal Kingdom were taken from about 11 o'clock in the morning on. So first up, we have this photo that I shared in Pandora. This is probably my favorite photo that I took in Animal Kingdom just because I loved Pandora so much. I thought it was so beautiful, and I knew I wanted a photo that captured just how incredible that area was. So this was taken on the 0.5 lens, the wide angle lens on the 12 Pro Max. I'm sure other phones have that as well. So this is taken, yes, wide angle lens from down low, right in front of the rocks. This is like the popular photo area. Everybody knows what this is. We took this right at golden hour. So that's gonna be different depending on when you're there. We were there in February. The park closed really early. This was taken actually at about 4. So I waited until the sun was really low and setting and coming through really nicely. Right through those rocks, and the light was really soft. And again, this was edited in Tezza. I love how this came out. I chose to go with a really kind of like ethereal blue dress. This is my sister's from Shein from like 4 years ago that she let me borrow. My tennis shoes are from Walmart. And then I just wanted a little bit of contrast with the blue that was, you know, the blue is reminiscent of Avatar since we were in Pandora. So I just put on an orange bandana in my hair as kind of a poppy accessory. And we all coordinated together to do the blue in Pandora because yeah, we wanted to be inspired by Avatar, and then also we knew there was lots of browns and greens, earthy colors, and we wanted to be able to like kind of pop in the photos. So that's just kind of a tip from a styling standpoint, and I love how this one came out. Next, let's move on to our group photo. Okay, so once again, for our group photo, we used the video feature. We went right on the trail and got really close to the Tree of Life in Animal Kingdom. We put Chavi's phone in the phone tripod on the ground on the path, walked a little ways up, and we crouched down to where we were in the bottom of the frame, and then the Tree of Life was in the top of the frame. And we used the back camera and we just let it roll and rolled the dice and did different poses, and I love how these came out. They're not perfect photos by any means, but I love them. We were having so much fun. It was such a magical day, and we just screenshotted from the video that we took a frame that we all agreed that we liked. Then also we do have a couple selfies again that were at golden hour, so we took these with our backs to the sun and the phone like this. And I forget who took those. I believe Deanna took those, and again we just rolled a video on the front camera and then screenshotted these moments from that. And Deanna edited these, and I'm not sure what app she edited on, but I love them so much. Next up, we have this photo from Pandora. Again, the same outfit, the blue and orange. This was taken on the bridge in Pandora that is right by the Flight of Passage line. This was taken at golden hour, but instead of letting the sun come through the background like the two previous, I took these facing the sun. Now you want to be really careful when you're doing that whoever your photographer is stands at an angle from you, because if they stand right in front of you, you'll have their shadow. So you want to stand about right here in the sun and have your photographer stand here or here and catch you looking back into the sunset to get all the nice golden light right on your face. Yeah, portrait mode, just so you can see the really cool kind of woody bridge background. And this was edited in Tezza. I added a little bit of grain to the image just to give it kind of a filmy look in the app. And then I used, on all of these, let me see, I believe it is one of the vintage filters. I used, yes, vintage 2 or vintage 3 on pretty much all of my photos from Disney. So Tezza is an amazing app, T-E-Z-Z-A, and those filters are all free. So you don't have to have the premium version to use those. And I love how this photo came out, and it was super easy. Golden hour in Pandora on the bridge, looking in the sun. Make sure your photographer doesn't get in the light for you, so you have all that nice light. Okay, last photo from our day in Animal Kingdom. These were taken in the shops in the Asian portion of Animal Kingdom. So this area is really, really close to Expedition Everest. If you're walking around there, you will see this area. It's right next to the gift shops. And again, you can see this was taken at about high noon. I was looking into the light, just like I said before. You want to make sure when the light's really straight up and down that you're looking to it so you don't have any harsh shadows. These were taken, as you can see, from a little lower to be able to capture all that cool stuff that is hanging up there in the ceiling. And I coordinated this outfit to kind of match the area. I love how it came together. And one was taken just on regular photo mode so I could get all the cool detail of the background, but then for a more detailed portrait style shot, we did put it on portrait mode for the second one that you can see here. And so portrait mode gives you kind of that really nice bokeh in the background, that blurring, while your subject stays in sharp focus. And I think these came out so cool. Okay, now we are moving back to Magic Kingdom for all of the photos that I took on day 3, my last day in the parks. Let's start with these images. So this first one was taken on the Jungle Cruise ride. I planned to wear this outfit because to me it felt very inspired by like early archaeological dig vibes that you experience on Jungle Cruise, like the white linen, but also I wanted to wear it for this photo that I took and never posted for Pirates. It really had both those vibes to me, so I felt like it was perfect. This first image was taken actually on the ride, and I sat, as you can see, looking out on the side of the boat. We were on this ride at around 10 in the morning in February, so the light was really still nice and soft. This was a portrait mode photo that Deanna took while she sat at the center of the boat looking at me. You could also just kind of have the person scoot up on the bench ahead of you and look back and snap one really quickly. We took these super duper quick because obviously we were on the ride. There wasn't that many other people, so we had a little room to work because they weren't seating full capacity. Posing wise, look towards your light, and then I crossed my front leg over the bottom just to kind of have like a leading line up to my face. If you guys want a posing guide, I could do that later. But I think this one was really fun. I love the Jungle Cruise. Then we stopped on our way out and took this one out on the bridge outside Jungle Cruise. Again, the light was in front of me, so I was kind of looking towards the light source. This was taken not on portrait mode, just on the regular lens on photo, and was taken from normal standing height. So not taken from above or below. The last photo was taken up from a little bit lower. This was just taken dead on and capturing all of the beautiful background. And again, both of these were edited in Tesla. I love some of these photos. I saw so many carousel photos that I was really inspired by before I left. And so I wanted to get a couple different photos with the carousel, which is kind of the quintessential Fantasyland attraction. I feel like it is just so timeless and classic. And I think about Walt getting inspired when he was sitting watching his daughters ride a carousel about making his own park. And to me, that just seems really special. So for these two images, these were taken at dusk after the sun had lowered behind the buildings, and I was standing on the side of the carousel that's closer to Peter Pan's flight in Small World. You could take them on the other side, it would be equally beautiful, but you would be more in shadow. The other side of the carousel, you have the option of getting a lot more light on you, the subject. We did put the camera on portrait mode and studio light, and Deanna sat down over by, I think it's Philharmonic, and took these from a little further away and from a low angle, looking kind of up towards the carousel. We tried to pick a side where, in a time where you couldn't see the strollers or the line, so you want to make sure there's not too many things that are too distracting in the background, which is hard at Disney. There's always going to be people or things in the background, and that's okay. You don't have to have perfect photos, and I think that these came out really nicely. I love them. Next, let's move on to the photos I took on the carousel themselves. So Chavi and I took these photos early in the morning. We got into the park an hour before rope drop, and we took these photos while we were actually riding the carousel. So Chavi took her phone and put it on the wide angle lens, and she and I took photos of each other while we were on the ride. We rode it a couple times back to back so we could take photos and also just experience the ride while the lines were really low. So you can see Chavi actually sat next to me more inside on the carousel and took these of me that were really backlit, but I still love how they came out. We took these as we were riding by the, like kind of with the castle in the background where the sun really was coming in really harshly. She took these on the wide angle lens, and I just cropped these in so they were a bit more portraity and edited them with Tezza, and I actually used the mood filter here, and I really like how these came out. Once the ride was over, Chavi stepped down off the ride and took this photo of me with the wide angle lens to get the full effect of the carousel, the horse, the painted top of the ride and everything, again on the wide angle lens. And I also used the mood filter on these. I just liked it a little bit more. Yeah, those are super simple to grab. Again, you could try to be the first in line and take these as everyone was sitting down if you wanted, or if there wasn't a line to get back on, that's how we were able to ride twice. If you're early or late enough, try doing that. But it's a super quick one to snap, and I love how both these came out. So before I left for Disney, there was a big ice storm in Nashville and my family stayed in because we were iced in for days and made tons of ears, all the ears, these ears, this t-shirt, let me see, this t-shirt, and we made this pair of Winnie the Pooh ears because we found some kind of furry fabric that we had left over from Halloween costumes when I was little. So we made this pair and I knew I had to take them to get a Winnie the Pooh picture. So there are so many great photo ops in this queue. You could take a photo in the storybook in line. You could take a photo, you know, outside the little house. There's so many places. But for this photo, I sat on the wall right behind where all of the strollers are, right by the sign and the tree. And what I did, what I always do is for every photo, this is a pro tip, there's a bow right on one side. If you were going to take a photo from behind, turn your ears backwards so you can see the bow from behind and not like that. I always turn my ears backwards so you can see the bow if I am taking a photo from behind. I planned this outfit to go with the Winnie the Pooh ride. So the classic red to remind you of Pooh to go with the ears, and then a little gingham skirt because that reminds me just of like classic childhood kind of looks. I sat up on the wall, Deanna crouched down on the ground, and we did not do these in portrait mode because we wanted the sign and the tree to be in really sharp focus in the background. And we also didn't take these on the wide angle lens. We just used the normal lens. I sat up on the wall, turned my ears backwards, looked up, and this was taken positioning on the wall. You can see I'm right in front of the Fast Pass entrance. So give it a try. I thought this came out really cute. I absolutely loved it. And last but certainly not least, what might be my favorite photo that we took on vacation is this one on Main Street. We took this on our last night in Disney. We ate dinner at Tony's, and then as the park was clearing out, we went and put the wide angle lens on, and I sat down in front of the marquee, and Deanna or Chavi, we all took turns taking these photos, sat in the street, right in the middle of Main Street, and from a really low angle, captured the entire underneath and top of the marquee. It was perfect time to take this. Of course, you want the nice, like dark night sky, so everything's lit up and really contrasty. And then you want to take this from a really low angle. You can see I'm sitting on the sidewalk right out in front, and then the girls we were probably about 4 feet apart, looking up with the phone really down low. I love this one. It was so nice. There was hardly anybody around because the park was clearing out and still closing. And one thing I wish, I let Chavi borrow my ears and then I forgot to put them back on. I wish I would have had my ears and then I would have loved it. But again, this is the same outfit from Winnie the Pooh, but I have on my Mickey shirt that my sister made because I really wanted that classic vintage Disney Main Street feel. So that is why I styled this outfit particularly for Winnie the Pooh in my Main Street photo. And with that, I have given you all my secrets, the locations, camera setting, editing, time of day, everything you need to recreate all these photos when you go to Disney. So I really, really hope that this was helpful. Like I said, if you have any questions about location, posing, time of day, lighting, anything like that, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my level best to answer them. That is my Disney Instagram guide. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, please tag me, hashtag, share these with me as you take them. I would love to see them, and I hope you have a magical vacation. Now let's go shout out some subscribers. Okay, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. Again, please subscribe, like, share, turn on post notifications, all the things. I want to give a special thank you to my live chat crew who is here with me now. Live chat crew, I love you so much. If you are somebody who is looking for an awesome community, please join us on the premieres in the live chat. Don't be shy, hop in there. This is a wonderful group of people. We are chatting every Wednesday and Sunday at 8 p.m. Central on all my premieres, and we would love to have you. Now I want to shout out Kendall, Katie and Max, my friends who have been subscribing and watching all my videos. You know I love you all so much. I'm so grateful to know you, and I'm grateful you're part of the Alleyways fam. So Kendall, Katie, and Max, thank you so much. I also want to shout out Ashley Lindholm. Ashley, you left such a sweet comment saying you were new to the fam. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're watching my videos. And your kindness truly means the world to me. Thank you. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you next time right here on Alleyways. Bye.